What's up, fam? My name's Kiahonfire and welcome back to Conan Exiles. Today we have a very exciting update because the new follower system has finally come to the official version of Conan Exiles for PC, PS4 and Xbox. I've already done a previous video of this when it was on the test live version, but today we're doing an updated video on that and showing you what actually got implemented in this update and what else has been fixed, anything you need to know. That's going to be in this video, the new patch, so let's get into it. So we're going to start with our follower system. If we go into our inventory, you're now going to notice, if you haven't seen this previously, there is a followers tab now. You're going to see every single follower that you own or your clan owns in this listing. And you can refresh the window down here or untrack all the followers. What untracking does is basically makes them invisible from the map. So here we have a Graded Wolf and Dacius the Sharp with an eyeball on them, and this tree hugger here doesn't have one. So if I was to look on my map, you can see right here there's a little head there, Dacius the Sharp. I see him, I can see him on the map. So where's my wolf? There's my wolf, and it's quite obvious to see where they are as well, so that's really nice. You can see all your thralls on the map if you want. You can mark the ones that are important to you and stuff like that, or perhaps if you're in a clan, then you can also just consult it that way and just list your thralls there. So I see all of these, but the thing is, I've lost a thrall. I need to find my tree hugger. I have no idea where he possibly might be. So I'm gonna click on the eyeball and then I'm gonna look on my map and have a look. Where is he? Oh, there's two thralls here. There's my tree hugger. And if I turn around and come to this location, he's up in the tree. But Mr. Tree Hugger does not want to come down, and he just loves frickin' hugging trees. So I need him to come here right now, but I can't get him down. So what am I going to do? I'm going to seek my inventory, go to the followers tab, and I'm going to click on Mr. Tree Hugger that I cannot get out of this tree. And I'm going to click this rescue button. Now, as you can see right now, a message has come up. So obviously, he's up this tree for a reason. He has a cooldown of 5 minutes and 3 seconds because apparently he was recently attacked. So that's probably why he's up the tree. So I'm going to wait 5 minutes and then I will get to rescue my thrall. The reason this happens is because if your thrall gets attacked, you're not allowed to rescue them straight away. Because if someone's attacking you in PvP, that's just downright unfair, isn't it? So they have that implemented in for a good reason. There is also another cooldown you're going to experience, and I'm going to show you that in a minute once I get this guy to teleport to me. In the meanwhile, we're going to go over the rest of these kind of things. As you can see when I was looking up on this tab, you can see the stats from anywhere in the world. You can rescue them, you can break bonds with them if you don't want them anymore, and you can just cancel altogether. There you go, very handy. Also on the servers, if you have a follower limit, you should have there will be a little bar up here, but I don't have a follower limit on my single player. It will tell you how many followers you have out of how many followers, so I would have, say, 3 out of 55, so that would be that, and you could number all of them, so that's great. And since I'm on single player, I have the customization if I want to reduce this cooldown if perhaps I'm on a PvE. Because I can see PvE, this cooldown is probably a bit of a bugger because you don't really need too much of a high one in that situation. Depending on what you prefer, you can now add INI for this though in your server if you don't want this kind of thing happening. If you're on single player, it'll be under your saved and server settings INI. You can pop those in there or change it to true or false. So I'm going to put them on screen now whilst I'm talking. There's one to enable you to claim it on a land claim or not, because usually on a server you will need to be on a land claim to actually rescue your thrall. So you will need to be on a bit of your foundation or something. If you're on somebody else's, that's not going to work. You're not going to be able to rescue your thrall. So that's what that's for. And if you want that to be a thing, true. If you don't want it to be a thing, false. Now, they also have a enable follower rescue in build exclusive zone. So that's if they are like trapped in a dungeon, If your thrall is in a dungeon, you will not be able to, in the default game, save it from the dungeon if everything's working as it should. So, if I was a PvE server owner, I would probably make that true, because I would like my players to get their thralls out of dungeons and stuff like that, because I think that would be a core use for using that tab anyway. There's also another INI follower rescue cooldown. This pretty much is self-explanatory. It's how long you want it to take to be able to rescue another thrall. So at the moment, it's going to take you roughly about an hour to be able to bring your thralls back. And there is also damage cooldown before rescue. So this is the one we just saw a few minutes ago. That is the cooldown that is stated when your thrall has been damaged, and how much time it will take to get that back after damage has stopped. So that's that one. So very handy INI settings for all my single player people out there or server owners. Now all that time's been by, let's check if we can grab our tree hugger again. We're going to rescue him. Follower can only be summoned on a land claim, so there we go. If you're fortunate enough for your server not to be too populated, you can just place down a bit of foundation like so. Go into your inventory, and there we go. Let's rescue this guy now. Are you sure, it's going to ask? They will lose all their equipment and stuff when you get them here. So he has armor at the moment, so I'm going to bring him here and see if that works efficiently. As you can see, a bag is falling at the tree with all his clothing in and stuff. And you can see a very humiliated naked tree hugger right here that has no clothes on and has been freshly rescued. But of course, all of his items are now in this bag, and you have a set amount of time before that bag decays to go and retrieve it again. So it has its cons and its pros, but honestly I do enjoy this system, especially if you've maxed out a thrall and it's in a rather dangerous situation and you want to save it, or you just have a very pesky thrall that will not come out of a tree. Say if I wanted to bring my wolf to me though now, I really couldn't. I can press the rescue button, but you can see I have a 60-minute cooldown, so you'll have to wait that long unless you change the settings yourself to be able to retrieve another thrall. And that pretty much gets the thrall system out of the way. Now I'm going to talk about some of the fixes that has been implemented in the latest patch. These won't be all the patch notes, they'll just be the ones I have found most interesting and relevant, so you can check them down in the description down below if you want a full read of the full patch notes. So we're going to go first on our issue. Fixed an issue that would cause armor penetration to stack on consecutive bow shots. So that is now fixed now, which is very good. You won't be able to farm the Rhino King out anymore because he now actually retaliates to his attacks, whereas before he wouldn't, and he would be a very easy experience farm because he was just taking the hits. So that has now been fixed. One thing in this patch I really like is they made a bunch of AI fixes, something I have been pushing for a very long time in videos. I'm like, fix the AI! That kind of thing. So now, fixed an issue with stationary NPC awareness that would cause them to be unresponsive if they have previously rotated. NPCs should also now properly switch weapons, even to melee, if their throwing weapon runs out of or their shield breaks. Resolved an issue where thralls would sometimes prefer unarmed attacks despite having a weapon available in their inventory. Thralls that switch from melee to ranged or vice versa should no longer remain in a contemplative, unresponsive state, wondering what the point of life is or if pineapple belongs on pizza. And you can see here the devs say it does, so I'm gonna agree. Controversial, I know. So they've done a bunch of thrall AI fixes that way, which is really, really good news. It is good to see that they keep working on thralls in this game, because it is something that is in dire need of fixing. So good job on you guys at Funcom. There's also a fix for when mounted combat animations could be interrupted. That is no longer a thing anymore. And a bunch of spell checker kind of just general fixes in this patch as well. There is also one that I'm really happy, an audio fix. Fixed an issue where humanoid NPCs would continuously play drunk emote animations and sounds when idle. Oh my god. Thank god they have fixed this problem. Because that problem, oh my god, that annoyed me so badly. Oh, the drunk burping is so disgusting. So I'm very glad they fixed that, and that is pretty much most of the most important notes from this patch, including a bunch of other fixes as well. And of course, they do their usual exploit fixes, so tweak some things, fix some meshes, stuff like that, and fixed a number of crashing issues, so if you were getting crashes, hopefully that will be fixed for you. But anyway, that's pretty much all the patch notes we have here today. Remember, if you would like to test for Conan Exiles, you can get the Test Live client on Steam, and you can help them test out their game and their bugs, so this game can be as bug-free as it possibly can. But thank you for watching, I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!